All right, Trevor Bauer. All right, this isn't a normal story. It's not international news, but you know what, Trevor? I'm glad that your nightmare is over, dude. Well done. So who is Trevor? Well, he was awarded nearly $310,000 in a default judgment against an accuser for, again, physical assault. Right now, who is he? Well, this is a guy who had his life turned upside down under false accusations. Now, let me be clear here, okay? Innocent till proven guilty in a court of law. And you know what? I understand the significance of Me Too and Time's Up. Before I got hijacked by the neoliberal Democrat vote blue no matter who thought machine. And the thing is, when somebody is assaulted, when they are hurt against their own will, and that's men, women, and children, an accusation has been made, and then the fullest extent of the court must play out. However, we have witnessed since the beginning, and yes, even fall of Me Too and Time's Up, because they did it to themselves. Never forget Tara Reid. Never forget the women who confronted Cuomo and Biden and how they were vilified by the media. That's what happened. There are people, though, who abuse the system and do, in turn, make false accusations. Now, Trevor, let's find out who he is here. And the thing is, Trevor, you may not know this, but you were my spirit animal, man. I was rooting for you, buddy. So, former Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer has been awarded nearly $310,000 in a default judgment against the San Diego woman who accused him of assault for breaching the terms of an agreement they reached in 2023 to settle their dueling lawsuits. Bauer's Los Angeles Superior Court complaint contended that Lindsay Hill went afoul of their settlement agreement by falsely stating 22 times, mostly on the internet, that she received money from Bauer as part of the accord. On Monday, Judge Daniel Crowley awarded Hill to pay Bauer $309,830. In his suit brought against last October 10th, Bauer contended that Hill was liable for $10,000 for each breach of the settlement agreement. The former Cy Young Award winner also sought attorney fees, costs, and pre-judgment interest. Ooh la la! In February, Bauer's attorneys filed court papers seeking $273,000. According to the revised court papers filed in April with Judge Crowley, the amount had climbed to roughly $307,000, composed of $222,000 in damages, $68,940 in attorney fees, and about $4,260 in costs, and about $14,285 in interest. Hey, my brain is busting open. Bauer sought the default judgment because Hill default judgment because Hill did not participate in the latest case. That was stupid. Yeah. See, here's the thing. And you know, when you try and ruin somebody's life like this, because this man had a whole career. Now he has a baseball career in Japan, and you know what? I wish you nothing but success and love in Japan, man. Keep on doing those home run homers. All right. I personally hope to catch a game someday, just not today, I guess. In a sworn declaration, Bauer said he suspected Hill might violate the settlement agreement by making untrue statements that she received money as part of their accord. Because Hill has a long history of making false and defamatory claims against me on social media, I was concerned that Hill would falsely claim that I paid her to resolve the lawsuit, Bauer said. The right-handed Bauer, 34, signed a 3-year agreement with the Dodgers in 2021 and was released from the team in January 2023 after assault allegations and a 194-game suspension by Major League Baseball. He now plays for the Yokohama DNA BayStars in Japan. Trevor, I am so freaking sorry you went through that. But maybe you'll get some peace. God willing, you'll get the peace and have a very beautiful life in Japan. I hope to check out Yokohama. I actually saw Yokohama a long time ago in 1998 when I was a young kid, Cabello. Young kid. Oh, there's so much I must warn you about, baby boy. If I could time travel, there's so much I'd warn you about. But nonetheless, there is a little bit more statements here. Now, I am going to have to self-censor myself, but let me go ahead and show these little tweets on Easy Street. Okay. All right. There you go. Philip Smith also says, good for him. Good for him. All right. And violin, very true. False accusations get elevated. The real ones get buried. This is the world we live in. And yes, Trevor is thriving in Japan. And I want him to thrive. But I keep on dancing, keep on singing, do a little hip hop, whatever. The world's your oyster. Go ahead. Go ahead. Live your life. And Barnes Homestead, I was falsely accused and denied due process, and the party accusing me realized their abuse and mistake and quickly fired the individual. And my parents, Barnes, I want you to be happy, man. I'm sorry. Nothing but respect for you, brother. Okay? Be happy today, and I wish you a very beautiful day today, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened. And Dr. Nick Riviera on Kick. That's right. Kick. I could see your comments now. Dr. Nick Riviera. He also won a league championship while playing in the Mexican League. I did not know that. Hey, Dr. Nick, can you send me some links about that? I would love to read it. I would love to read that, please. Please. I need some positivity in my life. Positivity. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So, let's read this. This is from Sarah Gonzalez. Trevor Bauer was blacklisted from the Major League Baseball because of an assault from gold digger Lindsey Hill, a woman who, with an inconsistent story and shady evidence, who told a friend about Bauer, need daddy to choke me out, being a absolute lady of the evening, to try and get in on his $51 million. The case was settled without Bauer paying her a dime, though the damage to his career was already done. Yesterday, a California court awarded Trevor Bauer, again, the $300,000 in a default judgment against Hill after she lied and claimed he paid her money to settle their lawsuit. Hill has a criminal history and warrant out for her arrest for multiple charges in Kentucky. Listen below. I received, again, here are the charges, all of this. Hill was charged with an arrest for the following assault. Assault of an EMS officer, disorderly conduct, public intoxication, all this. Cruelty to animals, no. Wow. Just absolute madness. Now, here's the thing. Trevor is still blacklisted, at least as it stands right now. Anything can happen. Trevor is still blacklisted from Major League Baseball because of Hill's accusations. A woman with a documented history of violence against others, lying, driving under the influence, disorderly conduct, cruelty to animals. Who do you believe? Well, I got to tell you, man. You know, I got to tell you, folks, and this is actually a video from 2023. So we're just gonna play a little bit of it, just a little bit of it, just a tiny bit of it. Let's play it.
Yesterday, we discussed the conclusion of former Major League Baseball player Trevor Bauer's lawsuit stemming from an
BW hitting the nail on the head. This will make it harder for legitimate victims to come forward. That's my fear of that too. Real victims who have been hurt will be afraid to come forward because of stuff like this.
Alleged sexual assault and Bauer's recent video in which he released his side of the story with receipts. Joining me now to discuss that is Bauer's accuser herself, Lindsey Hill. Lindsey, I mentioned Bauer's video in which he provided some receipts that, I'm going to be honest with you, make you look like a clout chaser, or I know some people are calling you a cleat chaser because admittedly you were chasing after several high-profile, wealthy baseball players. Trevor says everything was completely consensual. He also released these text messages that came out in court indicating that you had planned the whole thing out. So I want to read some of these texts from you to a friend between the two of you before you met Trevor, this one. Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. Okay. Victim is an interesting choice of words. I'm going to allow you a chance to explain yourself. But after you agreed to meet, you asked your friend what you should steal. Your friend answered his money. He says, another one from you to a friend, I'm going to his house Wednesday. I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll.
Molly Littlebird, real victims will be viewed with suspicion and not believed. And that's the pain. There are evil people out there that abuse the system. And the real victims who want to speak out are going to be afraid. If you have been or are a victim, it's okay. You're not alone. You'll have to be brave and face it. I understand what I just said are just words. There are bad people out there in the world. And there are bad people who use the system too. Now, somebody like Trevor, I'm glad that he gets to live his life as much as he can. I hope Major League Baseball does that Uno reverse card. But just remember, we're all on each other's side.
With a screenshot in which you told him, "Tryouts don't scare me, Bauer. Pick a day and I am there." Here are some more after you and Trevor met up. Net worth is $51 million, to which your friend responds, "Bitch, you better secure that bag." Your text, "Need daddy to choke me out," being an absolute whore to try to get in on his $51 million. You say this wasn't a setup. How can you expect anyone to believe that?
That's a great question. I really appreciate you having me on.
Let me tell you something. Let me give you guys a bit of advice. When you get a question like that and then the person responds, "That's a great question," you get ready for bull. I've learned this the hard way. Now, that's a great question. No, it's not. This is not a great question. This is like you should kind of be making some brown in your pants because that don't make you look good.
Even have this conversation. Obviously, there's a lot going on around this, so I really appreciate people who are asking questions about it. The first thing I want to say is, I think that Trevor did this intentionally with the text messages and how he framed this video. There's several things in it that are not correct. And I just want to start out by saying, it's so valid for people to question those text messages. But the root of the problem here is that he is presenting this as one conversation, when in reality he had thousands of messages to choose from, took those, made it look sequential, which it was not. There is no combined screenshot of those things going on one after the other. And as I said last night as well, there's no text message that ever exists. Otherwise he would have, put it out there, combining, anything about a setup through rough sex, finances all in one. Those were handpicked, and they were from multiple different conversations all before we met up. And I think that the video in general doesn't even talk about what actually happened between us two, which is what would have come out during a jury trial. These were all messages that happened before. And then of course the video is so valid as well for people to ask questions about. But I do think that video was entirely misleading. He also references the restraining order hearing, which people also have questions about. He says that he was cleared of any wrongdoing, which is actually incorrect. In our civil case, the judge had actually ruled that he had not been cleared of any wrongdoing, and that was a federal court judge.
So
obviously this is an interview that took place in 2023. But what's the takeaway? What's the takeaway from this? First of all, I do wish Trevor a very beautiful life. But there's a bigger story to this, and that is, the overall shadow of the great cancel culture wave that started in 2015, 2016. And look, there were some bad people who were exposed, and I'm glad for that. But also at the same time, too, it opened up the Pandora's box for other people to abuse the system as is, and that's not right. And I do hope that this serves as a learning lesson for many people going forward. And I hope that Trevor can recover and heal from the damage that was done to him. And this also serves as a lesson for everybody else. It is an evil world out there, and you got to keep your heads on a swivel at all time. I'm glad that something was done, but now let us push forward, because it tells me that there must be a little bit of an overhaul in our legal system. Some things got to be addressed. And the sad truth is, what Trevor's accuser has done, her damage is that real victims are going to be afraid. So I will say this to anyone out there right now. Don't be afraid. It's okay to feel it. It's okay to have that worry. It's okay. But don't be afraid. Don't be. And to Trevor, all the best to you, man.